Hungary was established as a sovereign state in the heart of Europe over 1,000 years ago. Stefan, the first king of Hungary and the founder of the Hungarian state, consciously and providently started to build relations with Europe. Despite its stormy history, the country located on the border of East and West always remained a state that respects European values while keeping and maintaining its own language, history, culture and traditions. Hungary acceded to the European Union on May the 1st in 2004, which opened up new opportunities for development. Leader Plus, the rural development program of the European Union, was launched in Hungary in 2005. The program is based on the cooperation of the civil, public and economic sectors and provides a unique opportunity for rural citizens to set up development strategies for their own regions. Supported rural development projects are also selected on local level. The Cooperation for the Future of Sáréd Action Group operates across a 650 square kilometre area called Great Sáréd. Centuries ago, the region has been a marshland of mud and meadows, as the Hungarian name suggests. The landscape of Sáréd, formed by the force of the water coming from the nearby mountain rivers, has determined the way of life and ethnic traditions of the locals. The rivers, tamed down on the plain, uploaded their sediments that filled up the riverbeds, and the water has modelled giant marshy fields. Protected by the nature of the surrounding marshland, the local population has always managed to survive the storms of the history. In the 19th century, the rivers were regulated and the swampy fields were protected against floods. The local population has changed its water-oriented lifestyle and agriculture production system from keeping livestock in outdoor conditions to a stable farming system complemented by intensive grain cultivation. Nowadays, Sáréd is an almost perfect flatland rich in waters, a typical area of the Hungarian Great Plain.
We started in 1978 with a 100 square metre greenhouse. We produce goods, making sure they are marketable, and carry them into the village. We process some of our produce, preparing sauerkraut and pickles. We submitted a successful application to the LEADER programme and have been awarded support funds. The money will help modernise the greenhouse heating system. These funds are really needed because I cannot put together so much money myself. I combine my savings and what I receive from the LEADER programme, and this is how I can manage modernisation.
I do not think anyone has ever asked average Mrs. Jones how she imagined her future or the future of her village. This is why LEADER is a novelty. We ask people's opinions. It is not only the central or local government that decides on a vision for the future of a village or a country or a micro-region or a whole country, but we also ask the people they have not even considered so far. You need to ask lots of people because they can come up with incredible ideas. This is why LEADER is so good, because it helps us implement ideas no other funds do. If one feels okay in one's family or community, it is much harder for one to leave. This is probably our ultimate goal, to keep young people in the countryside.
Pottery has been an ancient craft in our family. We can trace it back to 1706. Ever since, our family has been called Fazekas, meaning potter. Of all ceramic techniques, this is among the most ancient. It's done the same way as 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. One of the peculiarities lies in the modelling, as here in Nádudvar we use a simple stone to mark patterns on the surface of the dish. Pots are mostly black here due to the firing technique, because they're baked in wood-fired kilns and the resulting soot and smoke colour them. I grew up in the workshop. Clay was our toy. It's not as simple as it may seem when an object is shaped on the potter's wheel. It requires many years' practice and experience to master clay and accomplish what you imagine. In our family, he is the one who will carry on this ancient craft, which he already has an excellent command of. This is the spa, a real gem of Nádudvar. We can refer to this thermal water as the gold of the great Hungarian plain, as tremendous treasure. The city of Hajdú-Szoboszló is close by, which has opted for mass tourism, whereas we strive for quiet, relaxed and peaceful family tourism. We have recently been awarded considerable support funds, which we intend to apply towards the development of the special school for folk crafts. We wander a lot all around the world and we present ourselves. The first reaction is usually astonishment, wondering that such a thing still exists. Next, people try it for themselves. When someone has tried it, attempted to create something with their own hands, they cannot ever stop it. Within the leader group, we applied for funds to build a barn, a space we build all by ourselves. We intend to construct a building reflecting a structure characteristic of the area in Hajdúság or Tiszántúl. This building will be a barn suitable to accommodate workshops, dance houses and exhibitions.
The LAG has joined the initiative of the Hungarian Leader Centre and took part in the Leader Hungarian Rural Tourism Days. The aim of the event was to enhance cooperation among local actors involved in tourism and to demonstrate the attractiveness and special characteristics of the Hungarian countryside. Visitors received discounts from all kinds of touristical services at the same time in the whole country. In Sáred, tourists had a chance for horse riding, diving in the thermal waters, as well as tasting the famous dobre and listening to the zithers at the local festival. The event became the largest ever rural touristic collaboration in Hungary.
This ranch is a family heirloom from my father and grandparents. We intend to render services to urban people of various ages and social statuses by offering weekend programs. The most popular service is equestrian instruction. We own 12 horses and we provide mounted tours at weekends. The enterprise also offers accommodation, and during the winter we organise fantastic pig-killing feasts. The only problem we have and intend to resolve with help and support from LEADER is the question of accommodation. Many more potential guests and many more children would come to stay here, for which we wish to apply for support funds.
The other good example I would like to mention is what the Kaba Summer Theatre has been doing for 4 years. Time has excellently proved the initiators were right in reviving and establishing communities where people are having a great time.
The Cooperation for the Future of Sáred Action Group is active in cross-border cooperation. Together with the Hungarian Leader Centre, it has organised the first Hungarian-Romanian Leader Plus conference, which took place in Oradea. In Romania, the Leader programme has just started and hopefully it will provide further cooperation opportunities in the future. On the closing day of the conference, a famous Hungarian rock opera was performed by the Kaba Summer Theatre.
Building a common future should be the focus of attention for the next 10-15 years. Cooperation alone is not enough anymore. The LEADER program can become the driving force in the realization of our common future. If rural areas on two sides of the same border find different fields to complement each other and conceive a shared idea of the future, that is when I think this program will have met its goal. The closing event of the Hungarian-Romanian Leader Plus conference will hopefully add an emotional angle to the discussions and arguments of the meetings. We should recognize that we have only one heart, but the rhythm it beats is the same on both sides of the border.
The political situation in our village encouraged me to come up with an idea that could bring people together in town. I'm saying this because in the meantime Kaba has become a town. I recruited 180 non-professional singers out of the inhabitants and the rehearsals started.
This is a very nice idea, since people join the theatre regardless of political or party preferences. We all do this in our free time and act out of enthusiasm and without any financial compensation in this small community.
The rock opera Stephen the King has always been my favourite. I decided to put the play on stage in Cobber too. When we started the casting, we set an age limit. Anyone could apply up to the age of 60. There were some who concealed their age. One of them is 78 years old and she's with us here today. The youngest one in the play is 4 years old.
I take professional singing lessons as a hobby, but the people and myself can make a distinction between my job as a policewoman and my role in the play.
We had set up the scene in the schoolyard, where we always rehearsed.
You're not prepared for things such as this, but when life makes demands on you, you must try first, and then you're surprised when you can actually succeed.
Many of the local entrepreneurs have supported us. We've had a convoy of 40 cars from Cobber following us here. They came to see the show, and most of them are our sponsors. We joined the Leader programme at the right moment, and it helps us tremendously. We do our best to cooperate with the Leader programme to stage the selected plays. Funds are scarce for this. To come here with the play, we spent more than 400 to 500,000 forints, using support previously won from the Leader programme. We used the money on the coaches that carried us here. Of all villages, Bihar Donjhaza has something charming about it. The house was in decay for years, and we were thinking about what to do with it. My family enterprise decided to renovate the building. My enterprise is a member of the local Leader Action Group. We applied for support, and luckily we have won. We will use the amount for the renovation of the cellar below the house and for the surroundings to meet the highest comfort standards. The Leader programme helps us a lot. Without external sources like Leader, which plays the most significant role, such developments would have been close to impossible to be realised in a village of 200 to 220 people. Leader provides an opportunity for diversification, which is an important objective within the European Union. For me, as a veterinary connected to agricultural production, rural tourism provides an opportunity for alternative income.
Being leader-like means something innovative.
Private individuals can also apply. I contribute with 55%, while Leader contributes the remaining 45%.
A bottom-up approach.
If Leader didn't exist, our theatre would be over.
We all have to think together. Local entrepreneurs, civil organisations and local municipalities. We do ask people's opinion.